Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in each of our lives when we feel adrift, unmoored from the laughter of others and the warmth of their companionship. Loneliness, it whispers in the silent corners of our hearts, and often feels like a shadow cast upon our joy. Yet, I invite you to see loneliness not as a curse, but as a profound gift, a secret door to a vast and untapped reservoir within yourself. You see, we have been taught to fear the solitude of our own company, as if silence were a void to be filled with noise and busyness. But I say to you, it is in this silence that we encounter the most extraordinary truths about who we are. Loneliness is not the absence of others, it is the presence of yourself in the rawest, most unadulterated form. It strips away the masks we wear for the world and leaves us with the eternal question, who am I without the definitions given to me by others? When you sit with your loneliness, you become the observer of your own thoughts, the architect of your inner landscape. And in this stillness you realize that the universe does not rush to fill your emptiness, because it is already full. Loneliness is not emptiness, it is space. And space is freedom. It is possibility. Do not seek to escape it. Embrace it. Dance with it. For the loneliness you feel is not a punishment, it is an invitation to transform. It teaches us self-reliance, fosters creativity, and most importantly, reconnects us with the essence of being itself. So let us not run from our loneliness, but welcome it as a companion, a teacher, and ultimately a bridge to a richer existence. For in our aloneness we discover that we are not alone at all. We are connected to something infinite, something eternal, a profound oneness that only solitude can reveal. Loneliness, at its core, is a mirror that reflects back the unfiltered essence of who we are. When we are surrounded by others, we often adapt, conforming to the expectations and energies of those around us. We play roles, wear masks, and mold ourselves to fit the image that society or relationships demand. But in loneliness, all these facades begin to dissolve. The noise of external influence fades, leaving only the quiet, persistent rhythm of our own being. It is in this solitude that we are offered a rare chance to confront the raw and unvarnished truth of ourselves, stripped of all pretenses. In these moments, the question arises, who am I truly without the labels, the accolades, and the judgments of the world? Loneliness forces us to grapple with this question, to look deeply into the inner landscape that we so often avoid. It is both a challenge and an invitation, pushing us to explore parts of ourselves that remain hidden in the glare of social interaction. The discomfort we feel in loneliness is not the result of emptiness, but of meeting aspects of ourselves we have neglected or ignored. This encounter can be unsettling because it requires honesty and vulnerability. It compels us to acknowledge both our strengths and our flaws without the distractions of others to obscure the view. But in this confrontation lies an unparalleled opportunity for growth. Through loneliness, we begin to understand what truly drives us, what we value, and what we fear. We uncover the unique essence that makes us who we are, an essence that is not dependent on the validation or recognition of others. It is a journey inward, one that reveals the depth, complexity, and individuality of the self. The gift of stillness is one of life's most profound offerings, though it often comes wrapped in the unassuming guise of loneliness. In a world perpetually in motion, where distractions pull us in every direction, stillness is a rarity. It is the pause between breaths, the quiet after the storm, the space where noise ceases and clarity emerges. Yet stillness is often misunderstood. We associate it with stagnation or emptiness, fearing its quietude as though it were a void to be avoided. But stillness is not absence, it is presence. It is the essence of being fully alive, here and now, without the constant interference of external demands. When we find ourselves alone, away from the clamor of the world, we step into the realm of stillness. In this space, the constant chatter of our minds begins to settle. like sediment sinking to the bottom of a glass of water. Clarity arises as the surface becomes calm. And for perhaps the first time, we can truly observe our thoughts without being swept away by them. Stillness is the fertile ground in which introspection takes root, allowing us to explore the deeper layers of our existence. It is in stillness that we begin to recognize the patterns of our own mind, the fears that tether us, the desires that drive us, and the truths that quietly reside beneath the surface. Without the distractions of the external world, we can finally hear the whispers of our inner voice, the one that so often goes unheard amidst the cacophony of everyday life. This voice carries wisdom, insight, and guidance, yet it requires stillness to emerge. Stillness is not passive. It is an active engagement with the present moment. It is a state of being where we learn to simply observe, without judgment or resistance, the flow of life within and around us. In stillness, we come to understand that we are not defined by the turbulence of our circumstances or the opinions of others. Instead, we reconnect with a deeper sense of self, one that is steady and unchanging despite the flux of the external world. This connection is both grounding and liberating, reminding us of the profound strength and peace that lies within. The gift of stillness also extends beyond the self. In the quiet, we begin to notice the subtleties of existence, the rustle of leaves, the rhythm of our breath, the beauty in the simplest of things. It fosters a sense of appreciation and presence that often eludes us in the rush of daily life. It teaches us to savor moments, to embrace the here and now, and to find richness in simplicity. Stillness is not merely a respite, it is a doorway to a deeper, more meaningful engagement with life itself. Freedom in emptiness is a paradox that reveals itself only when we dare to confront the spaces within us that feel void of meaning, companionship, or purpose. At first glance, emptiness seems like a barren landscape, a desolate expanse where nothing grows, nothing moves, and nothing flourishes. It feels heavy, even oppressive, as though it carries the weight of everything that is missing. Yet, upon closer examination, emptiness is not a barren wasteland, but an open canvas, infinite in its potential and unbounded by the constraints of form or expectation. In the emptiness, there is no clutter, no obligations, no judgments, no pressures to conform to a particular mold. It is an untouched space, free from the noise of the world. And in this absence lies its extraordinary gift, freedom. Emptiness liberates us from the stories we've been told and the roles we've been assigned. It is a reset, a clearing of the slate that allows us to step away from the identities we've constructed or inherited. In the vastness of nothingness, we find the possibility to start anew, to imagine, and to create without the limitations imposed by the past or the expectations of others. To embrace emptiness requires a shift in perception, for we are often taught to fear it, to see it as a void that must be filled. But this compulsion to fill emptiness, be it with material possessions, distractions, or superficial relationships, only serves to obscure its true nature. The beauty of emptiness lies in its openness, in its ability to hold anything and everything without attachment or resistance. It is the blank page on which new stories can be written, the silent pause that gives meaning to the music of life. In this space, there is no need to strive, no need to prove or achieve. Emptiness invites us to simply be, to rest in the simplicity of existence without the ceaseless pull of ambition or the weight of comparison. It strips away the excess, leaving only what is essential, what is real. In the emptiness, we come face to face with the core of our being, unadorned and untouched by the world's incessant demands. It is here that we discover the profound freedom of letting go, not only of the external trappings of success or identity, but also of the internal burdens of fear, regret, and longing. Emptiness, when truly embraced, becomes a sanctuary, a place where we can breathe freely and move without constraint. It offers us the rare chance to reimagine ourselves and our lives, to explore the infinite possibilities that exist beyond the boundaries of what we have known. In its quiet, boundless expanse, emptiness holds the seeds of transformation, waiting patiently for us to recognize its gift. Self-reliance is a strength that often lies dormant, hidden beneath layers of dependence on external circumstances, relationships, and societal structures. In a world that constantly emphasizes interconnectedness and collaboration, the idea of self-reliance may seem out of step or even isolating. But true self-reliance is not about rejecting others or withdrawing from the world. It is about cultivating an inner foundation so solid and enduring that it allows us to engage with life from a place of confidence, clarity, and purpose. It is the quiet realization that we already possess within us the tools, wisdom, and resilience needed to navigate the complexities of existence. When we lean too heavily on others for validation, support, or direction, we unconsciously diminish our own capacity for growth. While connection is vital, overdependence can leave us vulnerable to the shifting tides of external circumstances. Self-reliance, on the other hand, is an anchor. It grounds us in our own inner strength and resourcefulness, enabling us to face challenges without fear of losing ourselves in the process. It is a reminder that while the world may assist and support us, the ultimate responsibility for our well-being and fulfillment lies within. The journey towards self-reliance often begins in moments of solitude or adversity. When we are left to our own devices, we are compelled to tap into resources we may not have realized we had. It is in these moments that we discover the vast reservoir of creativity, problem-solving ability, and inner resolve that lies beneath the surface. Each time we overcome a challenge on our own, we add another layer to this foundation, building a sense of trust in ourselves that cannot be easily shaken. Self-reliance also nurtures a deep sense of autonomy and freedom. When we rely on our own abilities and judgment, we free ourselves from the need to constantly seek approval or guidance from others. This independence is not a rejection of community, but a celebration of individuality. It allows us to contribute to the world from a place of authenticity and strength, rather than neediness or insecurity. Self-reliance empowers us to take ownership of our decisions, our actions, and ultimately our lives, fostering a sense of agency that is both liberating and grounding. Moreover, self-reliance teaches us to find fulfillment within ourselves rather than in external sources. It is an invitation to look inward for the joy, peace, and contentment we often seek outside. This inner wellspring of strength becomes a sanctuary, a place we can return to whenever the external world feels overwhelming or uncertain. By cultivating self-reliance, we develop the ability to stand firm in the face of uncertainty, to weather the storms of life without losing our sense of direction or purpose. It is a strength that not only sustains us, but also inspires and uplifts those around us. Creativity flourishes in solitude, because it is in the quiet and unbroken stillness of being alone that the mind is free to wander, explore, and imagine without interruption. In a world overflowing with external stimuli, constant interaction, and endless noise, the space for deep, unfiltered thought often feels elusive. Solitude provides that space, a sanctuary where the creative spirit can breathe, expand, and thrive. It allows the mind to break free from the constraints of conformity and expectation, inviting it to venture into the realms of possibility and innovation. When we are alone, we are no longer performing for an audience. The pressure to impress, conform, or gain approval falls away, and we are left with the raw materials of our own thoughts, feelings, and experiences. It is in this unguarded state that creativity begins to awaken. Without the distraction of others' opinions or the demands of social interaction, the mind can delve into its depths, drawing inspiration from the vast reservoir of the subconscious. Ideas that may have been stifled or overlooked in the hustle and bustle of daily life are given the chance to emerge, evolve, and take form. Solitude encourages a deep engagement with the self, a process essential for creativity. It is in these moments of introspection that we come to understand our own unique perspectives, desires, and insights. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for original thought, as we are no longer bound by the need to align with external trends or norms. Instead, we can create from a place of authenticity, channeling our true essence into our work. Solitude becomes a mirror, reflecting the infinite possibilities within us and inviting us to bring them to life. Moreover, solitude provides the time and focus necessary for creativity to flourish. In the absence of interruptions, the mind can enter a state of flow, a heightened sense of immersion and concentration, where ideas seem to effortlessly connect and expand. This state is where some of the most profound and innovative work is born. It is a sacred space where the boundaries between thought and action dissolve, and the act of creation becomes a seamless extension of the self. The connection between solitude and creativity is also rooted in the way solitude fosters patience and reflection. In the quiet of being alone, we are encouraged to sit with our thoughts, to explore them from different angles, and to allow them to mature. Creativity often requires time to incubate ideas, to experiment, to fail, and to try again. Solitude provides this time, free from the immediate pressures of external validation or judgment. It creates a safe space where mistakes are not only allowed but embraced as part of the creative process. Finally, solitude connects us with the world in a way that is uniquely intimate and profound. Removed from the distractions of social interaction, we become more attuned to the subtle details of our environment, the play of light, the rhythm of sounds, the texture of emotions. These observations become the seeds of inspiration, grounding our creativity in the richness of the present moment. Through solitude, we come to see the extraordinary in the ordinary, and it is this shift in perspective that often sparks the most powerful creative breakthroughs. Loneliness is often perceived as a burden, a state to be avoided or escaped. Yet hidden within its depths lies one of life's most profound teachers. It is through loneliness that we come face to face with ourselves, stripped of the distractions and validations that the presence of others often provides. This solitude, though uncomfortable at first, becomes an invaluable guide, teaching us lessons about resilience, introspection, and the nature of human existence that we might never learn otherwise. Loneliness creates a space where we are forced to confront our thoughts and emotions in their raw, unfiltered form. Without the comforting noise of social interaction or the busyness of daily life to drown out our inner dialogue, we become acutely aware of the patterns of our minds. We notice the fears, desires, and doubts that we may have been avoiding. It is in this confrontation that loneliness begins to teach us, showing us the importance of self-awareness and the courage it takes to sit with discomfort, rather than flee from it. In this stillness, we learn to navigate the labyrinth of our own psyche, discovering truths about ourselves that can only emerge in silence. One of the most profound lessons loneliness offers is the ability to cultivate emotional independence. When we are alone, we are no longer reliant on others to fill our emotional voids or validate our existence. This is not to diminish the importance of human connection, but to highlight the strength that comes from finding fulfillment within ourselves. Loneliness teaches us that while companionship is enriching, it is not the source of our worth or happiness. We learn to nurture ourselves, to be our own source of comfort and support, and to trust in our ability to weather life's storms without constant reassurance from the outside world. Loneliness also teaches us the value of presence and introspection. In the solitude it provides, we are given the rare gift of uninterrupted time with ourselves. This time becomes a fertile ground for self-reflection, allowing us to evaluate our lives, our choices, and our direction with clarity. Without the influence of others' opinions or expectations, we are free to ask the deeper questions: what truly matters to me? What do I seek and why? Loneliness strips away the superficial and brings us closer to the essence of who we are, enabling us to align our actions with our authentic selves. Moreover, loneliness is a teacher of empathy and connection. While it may seem paradoxical, experiencing loneliness heightens our understanding of the human condition. In feeling the weight of our own solitude, we become more attuned to the struggles of others. We develop a deeper compassion for those who may also be wrestling with feelings of isolation. This shared experience of loneliness becomes a bridge connecting us to the universal vulnerability of being human and fostering a profound sense of empathy and solidarity. Loneliness also teaches us the transient nature of all experiences. Just as no state of happiness lasts forever, neither does loneliness. It comes and goes, ebbing and flowing like the tides. In recognizing this impermanence, we learn to accept loneliness as a natural part of life rather than an aberration. We see it not as a condition to be feared, but as a phase to be embraced for the lessons it offers. This acceptance grants us a sense of peace, allowing us to move through loneliness with grace and openness rather than resistance. Finally, loneliness teaches us about the interconnectedness of life. Paradoxically, it is in our moments of deepest solitude that we often feel most connected to something greater than ourselves. Removed from the distractions of everyday interactions, we become more aware of the subtle rhythms of the world, the quiet beauty of nature, the intricacy of our thoughts, the vastness of existence itself. Loneliness invites us to look beyond the immediate and into the infinite, revealing a connection that transcends the need for constant companionship. Through its quiet teachings, loneliness becomes not an adversary but an ally, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Connection through solitude is one of the profound paradoxes of human existence. At first glance, solitude may seem like the antithesis of connection, a state where the threads that tie us to the world are frayed or broken. Yet, upon deeper reflection, solitude reveals itself as a gateway, a path that leads us not away from connection, but into its most profound and enduring forms. It is through solitude that we come to understand the nature of connection, both with ourselves and with the greater fabric of existence. In solitude, we are offered the opportunity to connect with ourselves in ways that are often inaccessible amidst the distractions of daily life. Away from the noise and expectations of the world, we are free to listen to the quiet whisper of our own thoughts, feelings, and desires. This self-connection is not a surface-level acknowledgement, but a deep and intimate communion with who we truly are. It is in these moments of solitude that we come to understand our innermost needs, our passions, and the truths that guide us. This self-awareness becomes the foundation upon which all other connections are built, for it is only when we truly know ourselves that we can genuinely connect with others. Solitude also deepens our connection to the natural world. In the absence of human interaction, we become more attuned to the subtle rhythms of life around us, the rustling of leaves in the wind, the play of sunlight on water, the quiet hum of the earth itself. These experiences remind us that we are not separate from nature, but an intrinsic part of it. Solitude allows us to step out of the artificial constructs of society and reconnect with the primal, unchanging essence of existence. It is in these quiet moments that we feel a profound sense of unity with the world, a reminder that we are part of something vast and interconnected. Moreover, solitude fosters a deeper appreciation for the connections we have with others. It is often in our moments of aloneness that we come to recognize the value of companionship and the richness it brings to our lives. This awareness does not arise from a sense of lack, but from the clarity that solitude provides. When we are alone, we can reflect on the relationships that truly matter, the people who inspire and uplift us, and the ways in which we contribute to the lives of others. Solitude sharpens our understanding of the quality of connection, reminding us that meaningful relationships are not about quantity, but about depth and authenticity. And so, through solitude, we learn that connection is not a fleeting interaction or a mere exchange of words. It is a profound alignment with ourselves, others, and the world around us. It is a reminder that in the stillness of being alone, we are able to touch the deepest currents of existence, weaving a tapestry of understanding, empathy, and unity. Solitude does not isolate us. It prepares us to return to the world with greater clarity and purpose, carrying with us the quiet but unshakable truth that we are always part of something greater than ourselves.